Who wants to have some more money in the bank? I'm going to talk about the 3 different levers that we pull to change our financial picture. I'm going to close the window so that we don't have the grass mowing going crazy. Okay, we often think about saving money when we think about having more money in the bank. How can I save more money? The problem with that is we always start by looking at what we're already spending, and then we start to think about what we'll have to take away. And so now we start looking at what we're losing. Oh, I really like Netflix. Now I'm losing Netflix. I really like that extra coffee on the way to work. That's my treat. Now I'm losing that. And we start to feel scarce. So we're not in abundance, okay? We start to feel like we're sacrificing by holding on to our money. So we're going to talk about 3 different postures or places where we are able to increase our overall financial picture and improve it. Why does this matter? Because when we have more of a sense of autonomy and ownership in our financial picture, then we actually are more generous. We're operating more in our giftings. We're operating more in our callings. We're serving better. Okay, all of that. So it's really important as women of faith that we feel a sense of empowerment around money instead of scarcity, fear, lack, things like that. Okay, so the 3 levers that we pull are income, expenses, and assets. We're going to start with the one that everybody thinks about, which is expenses. Here's the trick to managing your expenses. Start with your current income as your starting point. So here is all of the money that I have coming in month to month. And then you start deducting. So instead of starting with what are all the things I spend and then where can I trim away, you start with everything that you have and you deduct from that your current expenses, starting with the most non-negotiable: your mortgage, your health insurance, your life insurance, your expenses for children, your like mental health, your physical stewardship. All of that stuff goes first. What are the most critical things? And then when you get to the bottom of that, you're actually going to see like there's way more left over than what's left over at the end of your typical month. Okay, all that gap excuse me, that gap between what you typically have left over and what you have left over when you've just taken out the essentials, those are your non-essentials. Those are your extras that you could spend. And you'll notice most of those expenses are going to $5, $10, $15, $30 purchases. It's the random one-off with Amazon. It's the streaming subscription. Y'all, I found a $6 subscription that had been running for 18 months that I literally didn't even remember signing up for. $6 is not a big deal, but $90 certainly adds up, and that's $90 that I could have put somewhere else. Okay, so that's the first thing, is we take away all of our essential expenses, and then we see that pot of money, and we're going to want to hold on to that. Oh my gosh, that's $2,000 a month that I could be holding on to. And before you start putting the non-essentials back into your budget, decide, what would I do instead with $2,000 a month? What would I do instead with even $50 a month? What are dreams that are on our list? What are things that we thought would be impossible to achieve? But if we put that little bit toward it, it's going to add up, okay? And now all of a sudden that streaming service has lost its value to us compared to what it was when we thought I was holding it in my hand. Now instead we're holding in our hand something that we value very highly. Okay, for us, one of our dreams was a beach house. We wanted to buy a beach house. And so when we got really clear on we're nickel and diming ourselves out of our goal, all of a sudden those nickels and dimes weren't so valuable anymore. So start with that dream before you start adding back in those non-essential items, and then really decide, how valuable is this to me actually? When we did this recently, there were a couple random things that stayed on there. I love my Mudwater subscription. We kept that. We kept one streaming service and we axed everything else, you guys. You can always add it back in later. They don't make it hard for you to spend your money. So that's expenses. Next comes income, okay? The average millionaire has 7 streams of income. We can get a little bit myopic in our focus and start to think, I have to do this work. I am this type of person. Even people who are entrepreneurs can sometimes get in like, oh, I'm the bags girl. I'm the cleaning supplies girl. I'm the this girl. Like, that is the hat that I wear. Listen, it's important to have clarity of focus, but do not miss the value in being really creative in how you're bringing in income, okay? So you like look for, first of all, look at who you're partnering with. If you are with a If you're with a direct sales company, make sure you understand the compensation plan. Prioritize partnering with a company that sells consumables, because then you are going to be, you've got built-in momentum with your business model, because it's something that if people fall in love with, they're going to need more of, okay? Be careful of how the plan is structured. Can you do other things? How much flexibility is there? And then look especially at your leadership team. Are you wanting to follow where they're going? Are they going to help you rise to the level that you feel called to? Are they going to help you be creative and flexible? Are they going to help you leverage your time in powerful ways? Are they going to be cheering you on? When you start to slow down, are they going to come and check on you and say, hey, I remember those dreams of yours. I'm still cheering you on in those, okay? Be looking, if you don't have a business of your own, on how you can pull in an additional stream of income. Look for ways to leverage your income by offering like some, what are the things people come to you all the time? Small offers, the $5 offers. When people start to spend money with you, they are significantly statistically more likely to spend more money with you. So get thinking about, like, what are the value adds that I have to offer to the marketplace? And if you have questions about this is what I do all the time with my coaching clients, okay? Let's figure out what it is that you do and how you can maximize it, okay? The last thing is assets. What are you doing with the money that you're making? And this goes back to that whole idea of, like, hey, what am I going to do with that extra chunk of money that I'm now not wasting on non-essentials? And when we start to put our money to work in areas where it will put money back in our pockets, powerful things happen. So for example, purchasing a real estate investment trust, portion of a real estate investment trust, purchasing an index fund, purchasing preferred stock, going out and investing in real estate, all of these things are things that start putting money back into our pockets instead of taking it out of our pockets, which, guess what, feeds this whole cycle, because now once again we're putting more money into that income bucket. And now that means if we keep our expenses fixed instead of expanding them, then we're actually going to have more left over at the end to sow into more assets or into those dream activities in our lives. Okay? All right. I hope that's helpful, guys. Have a beautiful day, and I'll look forward to continuing to connect with you in the future. All right. I don't know how to turn this off. There we go.